everybody. Those are here. I hope you've had a wonderful day so far, or if your day has just started, welcome in. Um, my journey to into this field was a mixture of gradual and also very sudden. I grew up in a family where it was encouraged to go into the outdoors. It was a very outdoorsy family. So I grew up with a very natural inclination and a very natural curiosity for the natural world, the outside world. Um, and my family loved fostering that curiosity. It would be something as little as going to Lowe's and planting new plants in the backyard, or traveling to different cities for museums and special exhibitions. And so I always grew up, whether I knew it or not, science minded. And I felt like that was very foundational in my early interest in the sciences. I bounced around a lot. Um, I found enthusiasm for a lot of things. Um, I have gone around through geology, theoretical mathematics, biology, medicine. In high school, however, I met the one person that put me on the track that I wanted to be on, and it was a physics high school teacher. It is amazing how many of those start some of the best careers of the people I know. And he encouraged me to go into mechanical engineering. And that was the first time in my life where I felt the drive to focus on a singular thing. And it was no surprise to my family because I have other family members in NASA and Boeing who are aerospace and mechanical engineers. So I was accepted into UC Riverside for a bachelor's in mechanical engineering and very quickly found out that it was not for me. However, I was still in love with physics and I was starting to actually develop new interests in astronomy. It was something that I had shoved into the back of my mind because I thought in high school that I had everything figured out, like a lot of people do. So I transferred into the physics program as a way to remedy that. And I graduated with my bachelor's in physics from UC Riverside in 2020. And in my junior year of that program, I had hit another wall. The wonderful people in the physics department at UC Riverside mostly focused on atomic and plasma physics, as well as particle and materials. And while what they were teaching was interesting, nothing was sticking to me like it did back when I first developed that interest in physics. So I did the one thing that I recommend everybody does, and that is to look for a mentor. And that is how I found Stephen Kane, my current advisor, because he focuses on exoplanets, exoplanetary science. He was split between two departments, which is why I had never heard of him before. So I sent him an email asking, your research looks interesting. Can you point me towards some reading materials? Or are there any classes that you'll be teaching in the next couple quarters? He responded immediately, pointed me towards his undergrad exoplanetary detection course, pointed me towards a couple papers that he had authored, as well as some basic textbooks. And that sealed the deal for me. It all centered on looking for what I wanted to do. And that is the ultimate step, because getting into this field, it is not available in all places. Exoplanets are relatively new compared to basic astronomy, astrophysics. But just being able to look and ask for help and more information, that was what put me on the path. I began research with him That same year, I took all of the undergrad classes available to me from him. I met his research team, which is full of amazing people from a lot of diverse backgrounds. I do not work with just physics students or astronomy students. I also work with geologists, with biologists from all over the world. So that was probably the best step that I took. And that's what I want people who are considering this field to take away, is to search it out, to ask questions, read material that you can find, and to never be afraid to reach out, because that is exactly how I ended up here. And this is probably the most fulfilled in my life that I have ever been. So um, I am currently finishing up, I just finished up my first year of my 2-year master's degree with Stephen Kane. Um, Through his advising, as well as the encouragement of my peers, I am also involved in a lot of opportunities I had never known about otherwise: conferences, talks, poster presentations. Um, and that's the second thing that I highly recommend. If there is an opportunity, you take it. The majority of the fulfillment that you get from this field is from the people that you work with. And I can't recommend it enough. And that's my story. It is never too late to ask questions, and there's no such thing as a dumb question. And it's always a good time.